Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, it's done. It's done. It's government, United States. It's all over. It's done. We just wrap it up and put a bow on it. It's done. McDonald's announced. Hold on to your seats and your McMuffins. That they're closing down for a week so that they can work through some layoffs. Or at least they're closing down their corporate offices for a week. Haven't announced how many people that they are planning on laying off, but it's a pretty big thing because while McDonald's isn't the most valuable company and doesn't set the standards, it has been an American staple for a very long time. And so for McDonald's to be saying that, the old economy must be getting pretty rough for McDonald's to be laying off a bunch of its corporate workers. Trump is scheduled to be arraigned today on 34 counts of business fraud. Apparently he's already in New York. No one really knows, at least what they're saying, what exactly will happen. Will he be actually booked and, handcuffed and taken pictures of or not? I think a lot of it is just a big show, and a lot of people are worried if there will be protests and any kind of violence because of it, or if it'll just pass along with nothing really going on. It is significant in the fact that it just shows you how corrupt this government has gotten, that they have now stooped to the level of indicting a former president and a current leading running candidate for president over something so frivolous in comparison to all the other things that have been happening and are getting overlooked. Finland becomes the 31st member of NATO this morning, making NATO's border with Russia now over twice its size. And there are a bunch of pretty severe storms coming through the Midwest this evening and overnight. Some of them look quite severe, with strong potential of damaging storms and tornadoes. So certainly be watching that and getting ready, because it looks pretty nasty in some places. Folks, we are watching the downfall of a great empire. If it wasn't so personal, it would be an interesting thing to watch, because very few people in history actually get to sit and watch such an event happen. It would be like returning back in history and sitting on the sidelines watching the Roman Empire collapse, or the Mayan Empire, or some other great empire go through its downfall to collapse. That's what we're doing. We're watching it. It's just unfortunate that we just happen to be part of it. And we're part of it only because we really live here. You don't have to be part of it in a psychological sense. And you can do many things to kind of create some kind of hedge so that this collapse doesn't affect you nearly as great as it would other people. I mean, it's certainly going to affect everyone. The currency collapse and the de-dollarization is happening. It's not slowing down. Last week, it kind of seemed to get kicked off with all these different countries deciding that they were going to stop using the US dollar. And it really hasn't slowed down this week. I saw this morning that China and Malaysia are working out plans to create a Asia Fund, whatever that is, to end dependency on the US dollar. And the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia says that he is no longer interested in pleasing the US government. So we're watching large portions of the planet decide that they're no longer interested in working with the United States, using our currency, or being on our side. And that puts us in a dangerous place. Just weeks ago, the argument was, well, could the United States stand up and win a fight against Russia? Maybe, probably. Could the United States stand up and win a fight against Russia and China? Possibly, maybe, maybe not. But now, it's can the United States stand up against an economic, a currency, and quite possibly in the near future, a physical war against half of the planet or more? Very unlikely. Our allies are growing weaker, while China's allies are simply just growing stronger. And even a lot of the population of our allies are just not really interested in siding with the United States. You can see certain places in Europe that there's a lot of people that they're not into this war against the East and West, and they just really don't want any part of it. And I think it's all showing signs that everyone smells the weak one in the pack. And right now, that appears to be the United States. Between our leadership, our military leadership, our economy, and then on the home front, really, our how we are as a society, that we're at such a constant battles within our society, that I think the rest of the world sees us as just kind of broken apart. And when that happens, of course, you have the next biggest thing going to step in and take advantage of that weakness. And that's exactly what we're seeing happen. I think that we should be careful about mourning that too much. It's not that we're not patriotic. It's not that we don't love our country or what it once was. But we can't be distracted very much by the mourning of this loss. We have to continually, proactively prepare ourselves for what's happening and take it seriously. And of course, I mean, you know the drill, guys and gals. Preparations, mental, physical, spiritual type preparations, building up your own supplies and your own networks and your own ability to produce things. Because even if goods and services are available, the prices of those things are most likely going to skyrocket, especially as the dollar continually loses its power. And I think in the end, which is something I've said for a very long time, is that everything that we're watching has really been planned out. It's all being done for a purpose. This isn't just some random chance that it just happened at this time in the world history that America is starting to falter. It's being done on purpose, folks. It's being done so that all this hyper technology can be put into place. It's being done so that the whole world can kind of start moving into singular power, singular religion, singular currency, singular technology. It's being done for purpose because it's, in the end, it's creating what a lot of people refer to as the beast system. I think everything that you're seeing happen right now is setting the stage for a lot of the end time stuff that we've all been reading about all of our lives. And so there actually should be a little bit of joy in our hearts, knowing that we're getting close to that end. Certainly, we're going to have to endure some rough times. We were told that many different places throughout the Bible. In fact, Yeshua himself said so. But just like those of you that have run marathons and triathlons and things like that, when you're starting to get close to the end, even though you know you have to go through some of the worst part of it because you're exhausted, you're worn down, and you still have a ways to go, there's a bit of excitement in you because you know you're getting closer to the end. And so that's really where we need to be, is understanding that everything that's happening, all of this falling apart, has a purpose. And reality is it's not really falling apart. It's all falling into place. And you and I just have to continue to get ourselves ready for that. Because I think it is going to be a pretty bumpy, scary ride. And we know what's coming, at least somewhat. We know it's going to be bad. I mean, I don't know how anyone could look at all the things that's happening and not see that it's going to be a rough ride, that there's going to be some pretty hard times. I saw this morning that JP Morgan said that the banking crisis is far from over, and the ramifications of it could last for years to come. So we're seeing too many signs, folks. Too many warning signs letting us know that we're probably in this for the long haul. Joint Chiefs of Staff General Milley or whatever yesterday said that they don't see that there's any chance of Ukraine winning this war this year. So, here we go, another year of this, and who knows how long it'll be, because it's actually just getting bigger instead of winding down. We've got a lot ahead of us, folks. And I know that sounds depressing. That sounds doomsday-ish. I get that all the time, every day. Well, with the fear porn and the doomsday and the, scare tactics. It's not that, folks. It's just reality. You can't sit there and watch the building slowly engulf into flames and say, oh, it'll be fine. And if you point out that the house is on fire, you're just fear-mongering. It's fear-mongering to say that house is going to burn to the ground as it's slowly building and encapsulating the whole structure. Oh, that's just fear-mongering to just point it out. That's not true at all, folks. We have to keep our wits about us, keep ourselves as calm as we can going through this, because when we don't, and when we allow our emotions to take hold, it is easy for us to kind of lose sight and get frazzled and allow the fear to take over. Can't allow that to happen. Most of you watching are in a far, far better place to go through all this than the vast majority of Americans. Most importantly, because you're aware of it. You're aware of it, you're seeing it happen. And the vast majority of you have started your preparation. Some of you have started it years ago. But no matter how little or how much, the fact is that you are preparing and that you're getting ready for it. So you're in a much better place than most people. And so you should look at those things as a positive. You're getting yourselves mentally prepared for all this. And most of you, I wish all of you, but most of you are getting yourselves spiritually prepared for all this. And so we can't deny the fact any longer that we're watching a collapse of pretty much everything take place. And it's all leading us down the path of a new world order, great reset, all that kind of stuff. Where, they're going to just do everything they can to control every aspect of our lives. We have to look on the bright side and know that that we're about as prepared as we can be, and we'll just keep getting there. We'll keep doing more. We'll keep getting more ready. Because that tsunami, that perfect storm that myself and many others have been talking about for the last couple of years, it's getting a lot closer, folks. A lot closer. And these things, these events that happen, they don't happen all the time. They don't ever happen, in fact. At least until one nation, one empire is falling and another one is trying to take its place. These are unusual events that happen, and they usually mean the end is getting close. So continue your preparations, continue getting things ready in your life, in your family's life, stacking it to the rafters, and getting your mind and your heart in a place that it can handle this turmoil and chaos from a physical and a spiritual perspective, because there's a lot of spiritual warfare going on also. It's time to get your houses in order, folks. It's well past that time to get your houses in order. Should have been doing this months and years ago, but you still need to be doing it, regardless if you're starting today or you consider yourself a veteran of it. Get them in order. Get yourself prepared, because the empire is collapsing. Get mentally, physically, and spiritually prepared. Folks, thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.